Okay, Greg, thank you for having me here. I'm so honored to be here with all of you. I want to show you all the other perspective in understanding the parliament, or the other way to understand the parliament. The problem is we cannot put the parliament or the MP and the government in the same place or reading them with the same perspective, because these two entities totally different, just like in another room educative. So of course the MP is not the smartest person within the people, but they are the lovely one because of it they were elected. You know that clearly. So because of democracy give the same opportunity to everyone become the MP to represent their communities, their class, or for everyone who gather for some issues to advocate in the parliament. And there's no difference between the smart people or the ignorant people. Even they become the MP, so they have the same constitutional rights in saying the voice of the people. The voice of the people is the biggest power that MP have, because that is the sovereignty of the states, the voice of the people. So the most important thing is, what is the task of the state? The state must be neutral in the middle of the government and the parliaments, because the state inside the state involve government, and so the parliament, there is the bureaucracy who supports bureaucracy, that as a state. So the real state is bureaucracy. Even that bureaucracy work for the government or for the political appointee in the government, but they appoint as a state. They are not a government actually, even they are working for the government or the political appointee of the government, because there is the bureaucracy of the judicative, there is the bureaucracy of legislative, and so executive has their own bureaucracy. So how to make equal between a parliament that change every 5 years, they are not settled, with the governments, which is they are supported by a central bureaucracy, and so university and actually all the tools of the states stand behind the government to support them. So it is not equal. The MP coming from so many backgrounds, even for the carpenter can become the MP. So the most important things is how states support the MP to make the supporting system, which I call by the kitchen brain, because that MP should not be smart, because what they core business is just to choose the policy, and all the draft must be provided by the expert staff, or by the kitchen brain, or by the supporting system. So actually the MP, they should not to think something, they just choose, because they are the elected official that appointed in the parliaments by the people. So that is the first. It's why some of people see that the government perform and the parliament is not perform, because the people or the publics, they don't know about the positioning of these two entities. The product of the government is touchable. They build the bridge, they build the street, they build the buildings. That's touchable, that's countable. But for the MP or for the parliament, they produce something that's untouchable. They produce the software of the state. They produce the policy. How can we touch the policy? So it's look like they are not working, they are not perform because they produce something that's untouchable. And the second, that's the first, and the second, what will I say is about the indicators in evaluating the parliaments. We take wrong way in making the evaluations of the parliament. We use the same indicators which we use to evaluate the government. I told you before that these two entities working in a totally different way. Just like the presence of the government, because they are they produce the real product, so present is so important. If one of them absents, so it will relate to how much the product that they can produce. But for the MP, presence or not presence in the office is not the indicator of the success of the working or of the performance of the parliaments. Because for the MP, present or not presence is the political act. Just like if I become the MP, if I dislike some issues that discussed by some commissions, and my colleagues lack a friend there, so I realized, when I realized that I will lose my voice to win the discuss, so I will not present that discuss as my political act. You know, political act expressed with so many kind of act, just like we cover our mouth to not saying anything. That is political act. So we cannot say that for the MP that's not saying anything in the parliament, so they are not performed, because that is the political acts of that MP. They dislike the issues, just like that. We will discuss more about this, because I have been ever meet the formula to how to evaluate the parliament, and we have to use the other the different indicators to evaluate the parliament. We cannot use the same indicators which we use to evaluate the government.